I saw when you closed the door today, and the weight of the world seemed to collapse on your shoulders. I was there when your sigh was longer than your own hope, and I perceived the exact moment when your heart wondered if heaven still remembered your address. The wind outside blows furiously, but I know that what blows inside your chest, in the secret of your thoughts, hurts even more. You have come this far because your soul is exhausted from fighting against the waves, from rowing against tides that seem never to recede. Listen carefully to my voice now. I have come personally to meet you, to teach you to say what is necessary daily, so that true peace may reign amidst all the storms that try to flood your home and your mind. There is a sacred reason why you sought this message today. It was not by chance, it was a decree of my love. Have you ever wondered why some people manage to walk serenely while the world collapses around them, while you feel yourself sinking with each new difficult piece of news you receive? There is a profound secret that I kept in the silence of that dark night on the Sea of Galilee, something that distracted eyes cannot perceive. When the disciples cried out in fear, I was not sleeping out of indifference, but because I knew exactly who I was and who was in command of the boat. Just as I lifted Peter from the icy waters when he began to sink, I extend my hand now to lift you from where you have fallen. In this journey that we begin now, I will reveal to you how to transform your despair into spiritual authority, teaching you to shield your soul against fear and to recognize the signs of my protection that you have ignored because of the noise of thunder. If my voice is echoing powerfully now deep within you, let me know that you are listening to me. I want you to let out what is being kept inside. Tell me your name, the country from which you hear me, your state and the city where you live, and note the exact time these words are reaching your heart. Feel your chest breathe and let a sincere cry flow like a cathartic outpouring from someone who has decided they will no longer carry this burden alone. My Lord God, I am here. I signed up because I love you with all my heart and intensely desire to hear you. Stay with me until the very last second of this video. Don't rush, because at the end of this encounter I will whisper a short and powerful phrase directly into your spiritual ear, a key that will change the way you open your eyes tomorrow morning. Those who remain until the end and write this phrase in the comments will seal a new time of prophetic blessings upon their lives and their families. I know every detail of your struggle. I know the trembling in your hands when you open a bill you don't know how to pay, or the cold you feel in your soul when the house is silent and the kitchen seems to echo your absences and your emptiness. But what you call the end, I call a new beginning prepared by my hands. What you see as an untamed hurricane, I see only as the breeze that will clear your vision for the feast I am preparing. If the touch of my peace has begun to calm your heart now, leave your sign of gratitude on this journey. Have you ever felt that your burden was too heavy to be carried by one person alone? Write here in the comments our first word of surrender, I trust. But I haven't yet shown you everything I have prepared for the next step of this journey. I see what no one else sees. While the world sees your strength and your readiness to serve all, I contemplate the deep mark that weariness has left in your eyes when you look in the mirror late at night before turning off the last light. There is a weariness that sleep does not cure, an exhaustion that is not born from the arms that work, but from the soul that watches. I was there that Tuesday when the silence in your living room felt like it had a physical weight, crushing your chest while everyone else in the house was already asleep, and you felt like the only person awake in the entire universe. It is in this moment, between the creaking of the walls and the merciless ticking of the clock, that the feeling that the sky is made of bronze reaches you. You feel as if your prayers hit the ceiling and return empty, as if my hand were too short to reach you. But listen to what I tell you now. I have never been so close to you as in these hours when you feel most alone. Your trembling hands as you check the days remaining until the end of the month, the insecurity that makes you take a deep breath to avoid crying in front of your children, all this is known to me. I know that you have been the pillar of many, but it is I who sustain you. For it is written in the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. I did not promise that the storm would cease the exact second you called upon me, but I promised that relief for your heavy heart would come from my own presence. The burden you try to carry alone was not designed by me. You took it upon yourself out of fear of tomorrow, or because you felt that no one else would carry it. I call you today to a sacred divestment. Leave this invisible weariness on my altar. It is no use trying to solve next year's problems today. Each day has enough trouble of its own, but each day also has enough of my grace. You have sought signs in the wind and in the fire, but I am whispering in the gentle breeze that blows within your room now. Can you feel it? It is the touch of my peace that does not depend on circumstances, but on my faithfulness that never fails. Before we move on to the secret that will change the tone of your early mornings, I want to enter the intimacy of your thoughts. What is it today, more than anything else, that has been stealing your vital energy? What is it that makes you wake up at 3 in the morning with a racing heart? Tell me. In the depths of your silence, what is your heart pleading with God for at this very moment? If this recognition of your weariness has touched your soul, leave your sign of surrender. I invite you to share this peace with someone else you know who also hasn't been sleeping well. Write here in the comments our word of rest, accepting my invitation. Your presence is enough. But prepare your spirit, because what I am going to ask of you now is something that many fear, but which will be the soil where your miracle will germinate. My beloved daughter, while the waters still roar around you, I observe your willingness to keep your heart generous, even when scarcity tries to whisper lies in your ears. The peace I give you is not just a shelter to be kept in silence, but a strength to be sown. For in my kingdom, everything that is planted with love and detachment blossoms into unexpected miracles. I want to invite you to a gesture of trust with me at this moment in your spiritual journey. If you feel this channel has been a balm for your pain, if it is possible for you, and only if your spirit is at complete peace with it, transform your gratitude now into a living seed of love for this channel. I ask that you consider my immense love for you and the sacrifice of my beloved Son Jesus, and contribute using the link I left for you in the description of this video and in the first pinned comment. There, you will find the place where your offering of love can be deposited and consecrated before me, the Creator of all things. You can contribute any amount your soul wishes to give. If you feel it should be a different amount, simply type the desired amount. Always remember, only what fits in your heart with joy and freedom. I receive each gesture with infinite love. The material amount does not matter, for what matters to me is the heart with which it is given. For what is little for you may be much for those who receive this divine light today. Anyone who contributes any amount with a sincere heart, please remember to include your name and city with your contribution, because on the first day of the following month, in a unique and special video on our channel and page, Divine Love, the Voice of God, your name will be remembered, mentioned in gratitude, and covered with divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verse 9, "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce. Every offering made in faith is a seed before me, your Lord, and none of them will fail to bear fruit. I see in secret." Stay until the end of this message, because there is still a mystery I need to reveal to you about yourself. I saw when your eyes opened abruptly at 3:15 in the morning. The silence of the house was so dense that you could hear the accelerated beating of your own heart, as if it were trying to escape something invisible. You got up, your bare feet touched the cold floor of the hallway, and you went to the kitchen seeking relief in the water for your throat, dry with fear. In that pale light of the refrigerator, surrounded by the shadows of dawn, you felt small, as if your worries were iron giants ready to crush you. You looked at the empty table, and there, in thought, you organized your pains. The son who doesn't give news, the diagnosis that frightens you, the scarcity that seems never-ending. You felt adrift, tossed to and fro by waves you couldn't control. But listen to what I, your Lord, tell you now, while the world still sleeps, and only the two of us are awake. You are not a victim of circumstances. I have not given you a spirit of fear, but of power and authority. For it is written in the Gospel according to Luke chapter 10, verse 19, "Behold, I have given you authority to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you." When I tell you to tread, I am not speaking of a physical gesture, but of a posture of your soul. That anxiety that keeps you awake is like a serpent trying to coil around your thoughts to paralyze you. But I have placed under your feet the power to declare that it has no dominion over your house. In that same kitchen where fear overtook you, I want you to begin walking with the certainty that each of your steps is guarded by armies of angels you cannot see, but who are there, occupying every inch of your home. You no longer need to watch in dread. The authority I have given you means that when the thought of defeat comes, you can look at it and say, "My Father is on the throne, and he does not sleep." Apply this truth now, at this very moment, as the air enters your lungs. That which kept you awake last night will not be allowed to steal your peace today. I am teaching you to walk on the waters of your despair, keeping your eyes fixed on mine, and not on the height of the waves. If this authority has begun to awaken within you now, let it be your sign of union with heaven. I invite you to walk with me every day, making this journey your refuge of constant peace, and signing up so you never miss my voice. Send this breath of life to that friend you know has also been silently watching over you in the cold early mornings. Tell me, in the darkness of your room, what giant have you been trying to face alone until now? Write here in the comments our word of authority, sealing what I have just given you, my shield, but don't close your ears yet, because there is a companion I have prepared for your hours of solitude, something that goes beyond these words. My daughter, I know that many times the storm is so long and the clouds are so dark that you end up losing track of where the sea ends and where the clear sky begins. On those days when the fog of uncertainty covers your horizon and you don't know where to take the next step without stumbling in anguish, I wish to be the light that shines right in front of your feet, one step at a time. I don't want you to have only isolated moments of peace when the noise ceases, but for that calm to be your constant dwelling and your daily breath, even while the winds still blow outside. If your heart yearns to delve deeper into my presence and learn to hear my whisper amidst the chaos, I have prepared something special to be your compass in the stormiest hours. I have left for you a journey of intimacy, written with all my zeal for my most beloved daughters and sons as a map for your spirit. It is the digital book I have called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to be your faithful companion in each new dawn and in each night of profound silence. You can find access to this gift in the link I left for you in the description of this video and also in the first comment pinned below. And listen to what your Father tells you now. If today your condition does not allow you to take this step, do not allow guilt or burden to reach your soul. Continue here with me, for my word in this message will continue to be your sustenance and your unwavering strength. And so that your soul may rest and not get lost in confused thoughts, know that as soon as your registration is successfully completed, access to this journey of light will arrive directly at the email address you provided during registration. There, you will find all the instructions, explained step by step, so that you can begin to walk with me in a closeness you have never experienced before. I want you to have clarity and peace at each stage of this new journey that opens before you. For it is written in Psalm 119, verse 105, "Your word is a lamp to my feet and a light for my path." Before we move on to the next revelation, feel my peace invade your chest now, like a balm healing invisible wounds. Have you ever stopped to think what your life would be like if you could wake up every day knowing exactly what I want to tell you in the secret of your heart? If this divine care touches your soul, leave your sign of love and invite someone else who is lost at sea to find this refuge. Tell me, what is the first thing you would like to hear from me when you open your eyes early tomorrow morning? Write here in the comments our guiding word for this hour. Guide me, Lord, but don't move from there now and don't let yourself be distracted. For the silence we are about to explore holds the deepest secret about the miracle that is being conceived in the midst of your pain. Daughter, there is a kind of silence that hurts more than any scream. It is the one that happens after you have exhausted all your words, all your tears, and all your strength. You sit in that chair on the porch, or perhaps in the corner of the sofa that already bears the mark of your body from so much praying there, and all you hear is emptiness. You look at the cup of coffee that has long since cooled on the table, and just watch the grains of dust dancing in the single ray of sunlight that enters through the kitchen window. The silence of the house is so heavy it seems to have color and form, and your weary heart wonders if I am too busy with the great wars of the world to hear your low, lonely groan. But I want you to understand something precious today. In the kingdom of heaven, silence is never absence. It is the sacred womb where your miracle is being formed. When I am silent, it is not because I have forgotten you, but because I am adjusting the hands of time so that your blessing arrives at the exact moment when it will not only be a relief, but a complete transformation. Remember the prophet Elijah, who was exhausted and hidden in a cave, feeling that his end had come. He sought me in the rushing wind that broke the rocks, but I was not in the wind. He sought me in the earthquake that shook the ground beneath his feet, but I was not in the earthquake. He sought me in the fire that consumed everything around him, but I was not in the fire either. It was only when all was silent, when the noise ceased and the dust settled, that my voice came as a gentle whisper, an almost imperceptible breeze that made your heart tremble with reverence and renewed all your hopes. For it is written in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verse 12, "And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire, and after the fire a still small voice. You have asked for thunder, for grand signs that all can see and applaud, but I am speaking to you now, at this very moment, through this peace that begins to sprout inexplicably in the midst of your chaos. My gentle and delicate voice is that silent certainty that tells you deep in your soul, don't give up today. It is that impulse that makes you make your bed even when you don't want to get up, or that breath of courage that makes you smile at someone even when your soul seems to be in pieces. I don't need to shout to be God in your life. I only need to be present, and I am. The world makes noise to seem important, but the Creator works in stillness. When the sea is calm before the calm, it is because the waters are recognizing my authority and preparing for the calm that I have ordained. Learn to discern my silence as an act of profound love. If I haven't yet said yes and haven't said no to that request you made 3 months ago, it's because I am working on the details that you are not yet able to see. Can you bear the silence with me today, knowing that it is the preface to your victory? Before we move forward on this journey, look honestly within yourself. Where did the noise of the world try to deafen you most this week? What was the noise of anxiety that tried to drown out my gentle voice? Tell me, in the midst of this silence that sometimes frightens you, can you feel my invisible embrace sustaining you now? If this truth has brought new breath to your soul, leave your sign of faithfulness. Like this message as an act of someone who has decided to listen to heaven above the earth and invite another woman who is lost in the noise of pain to find this rest. Write here in the comments our word of discernment for this moment. I hear your voice, but don't turn away yet, because now I'm going to show you something that transcends your own life and reaches those you love most. A promise that is kept for your descendants and that will begin to be fulfilled from your position today. I saw when you ran your hand over that old photograph, its edges already a little worn by time, and a silent tear escaped, wetting the paper before you could stop it. At that moment, sitting on the edge of your bed with the afternoon light filtering through the curtains, your thoughts flew far away, reaching those you love more than your own life. You wondered in a whisper that no one heard if your prayers would have enough strength to pierce the walls and protect your children, your grandchildren, your descendants, who seem so distant from my ways or so surrounded by the dangers of this world. You feel the weight of the responsibility of being the sentinel of your home, the one who watches while everyone sleeps, the one who cries in secret so that others may smile. But listen to what your Father tells you now. Your trust in me is not merely an individual comfort. It is a spiritual inheritance being sealed in the foundations of your family. Every prayer you offered with your face to the ground, every time you anointed the doorposts of your house with your tears of intercession, I recorded in the book of life. You are not planting in the desert. You are sowing seeds in soil that I myself am preparing to flourish. For it is written in the book of the prophet Isaiah, chapter 54, verse 13, "And all your children shall be taught by the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children." This promise is not a mere wish, it is a decree from the throne. The abundant peace that I promise to yours does not depend on their will at this moment, but on my faithfulness to your surrender. I am the God who seeks the lost sheep in the darkest valleys and brings it back on his shoulders. While you trust, I work behind the scenes, in places your hands cannot reach and your words cannot enter. I am restoring dialogues that were broken 10 years ago. I am healing childhood wounds that no one ever named. And I am breaking chains of addiction and depression that try to become inheritances in your lineage. Look at your hands now. They may seem tired, but they carry the authority of a woman who has decided that evil will not have the last word over her home. The legacy you leave is not made of gold or silver that time consumes, but of an unwavering faith that will serve as a safe haven for those who come after you. Your stance today is their protection tomorrow. Can you feel this weight lifting from your shoulders and being placed in my powerful hands? Before we take the next step to understand the end of your desert experience, I want you to make a prophetic act of surrender here with me. Who is the person in your family that you surrender into my hands now without fear and without reservation? Do you visualize their face being illuminated by my glory? Tell me, if you could see now the banquet of restoration that I am preparing for your table, what would you say to your heart so that it would stop suffering? If this call to the restoration of your descendants has touched your innermost being, leave your seal of faith. Like this message as one who makes a peace pact over their home, and share this video with another mother or grandmother who has also been fighting on her knees for her family. Write here in the comments, our word of inheritance and protection, my home. But don't look away, because the clouds are moving and the sound that is about to echo in your life is no longer that of thunder, but that of a new song that I myself placed on your lips to signal that the time of your dryness has reached its absolute limit. I see the dust that has accumulated on your clothes and the weariness that has tinged the brightness of your eyes with grey. You have walked on cracked ground for so long that your soul has almost forgotten the sound of running water and the smell of wet earth after the rain. The desert has been your daily landscape. In it, you have faced the scorching sun of ingratitude and the frigid nights of profound loneliness. I felt every time you stumbled on stones of others' judgment and saw when your throat dried up, not for lack of physical water, but for lack of a kind word, of recognition that never came. Many times in the midst of this aridity, you looked around and saw only the empty horizon, feeling that your destiny was to die of thirst from waiting. But listen to what your Creator reveals to you now. The desert was never your final dwelling place. It was only your path of purification and strengthening. You were not sent there to be consumed, but to be forged. And today, I come to tell you that your feet are already touching the edge of the last dune. The time of spiritual and emotional scarcity is reaching its absolute limit by order of my own voice. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 40, verse 3, He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear and put their trust in the Lord. Prepare your spiritual ears, for the melody of weeping is being replaced by a composition of victory that I myself am writing on the pages of your history. You will no longer sing of the pain of loss or the weight of waiting. You will sing of the surprise of my sudden action. I am exchanging your mourning garments for garments of celebration. That sad song you hummed softly while washing the dishes, your heart heavy with anguish, will give way to a hymn of gratitude that will make your neighbors wonder what happened to that woman who once seemed to carry the world on her shoulders. The storm has passed to clear the air, and the desert has served to show you that only my presence is your true oasis. Now, I'm opening the floodgates of a time where provision will not only be sufficient, but overflowing for your soul. You are leaving the land of thirst for the land of fulfilled promise. Can you feel the freshness that is beginning to blow in your direction at this very moment? It is the breath of my spirit renewing your strength for the final stage of this journey. Before we reveal the ultimate secret to maintaining this unshakable peace, I want you to do something important. Have you ever felt that your desert experience was lasting longer than you could bear? If you feel this new music beginning to vibrate in your heart now, leave your sign of joy. I invite you to subscribe to this sanctuary of divine voice, so that you never again walk in silence, and to send this message to someone you know who is almost giving up in the midst of the desert heat. Tell me something. If your miracle had a sound, what would be the first word you would shout upon seeing it before your eyes today? Write here in the comments our word of renewal, declaring the end of your drought. New song. But don't rush to leave my presence, for what I am about to teach you is the golden key that will shield your mind against any attempt by the enemy to steal what I have just given you. I know what happens when the light on this video goes out and you are left alone with your pillow. There is a subtle fear, a whisper from the enemy trying to convince you that all this peace you felt now will vanish like smoke as soon as the sun rises. You fear the moment your feet will touch the cold floor of your room early tomorrow morning, and the list of problems, bills, and demands will surround your bed again like relentless soldiers. Have you ever experienced the feeling of waking up with your heart already racing, even before opening your eyes, as if the day had already begun with a defeat? The secret I want to give you now, for you to keep in the deepest vault of your soul, is the key to shielding your mind against this anxiety that tries to steal your future. The peace I give you is not a stockpile you keep for the whole month. She is like the manna I sent to my people in the desert. She falls fresh every morning, in the exact measure for the next 24 hours. Your mistake has been trying to carry the weight of next Wednesday on your shoulders on Sunday night. You were not designed to bear the weight of tomorrow, for tomorrow does not yet exist. It is kept under my palm, for it is written in the Gospel according to Matthew chapter 6, verse 34. Therefore do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. To maintain my peace, you need to learn the sacred art of living in the now with me. When your thoughts try to wander to problems that may happen in a week, bring your mind back to my presence in this instant. Take a deep breath and realize that at this very second I am sustaining you. You have a roof over your head, you have air in your lungs, and you have my voice. Anxiety is the interest you pay for a problem that may never happen. Tomorrow, when you feel the weight of the blanket on your body, and the first thought of worry tries to invade your mind, I want you to interrupt that cycle immediately. Don't give space to dialogue with fear. Instead, declare your dependence on me for the hours to come. I will be there at your work. I will be there in the difficult conversation you need to have. I will be there when you look at your account balance. If you learn to trust me one day at a time, you will see that the storm will lose its power to paralyze you, for you will be anchored in eternity and not in the volatility of the hours. Before we reach our final meeting in this safe harbor, look within. What worry about the future has been trying to steal your joy the most today? What are you trying to solve alone without letting me participate? Tell me, do you accept the challenge of surrendering your tomorrow into my hands and living only in the present under my protection? If this instruction of peace has shielded your mind now, leave your sign of commitment. Enjoy this message as a seal of protection over your thoughts and share it with someone who lives imprisoned by anxiety about what is yet to come. Write our word of mental shielding here in the comments, just for today. But prepare your heart, because what I have reserved for you in the next step of this journey is the final destination of this entire crossing, the place where the waters finally become crystal clear and your rest will be complete. Now I want you to close your eyes for a brief moment and imagine that the deafening roar of the wind has finally ceased. The boat of your life, which was once tossed from side to side by waves 5 meters high, now glides smoothly over waters so clear that you can see the bottom, covered in white sand and polished stones. The sky, which was once a grey mass of heavy clouds, now opens in shades of gold and violet, announcing that the night is over. You feel the hull of the boat gently touch the sand of the beach, and there, standing on the shore, I am waiting for you with open arms and a fire lit to warm you from the cold that the storm left in your bones. This is the meeting I arranged with you from the beginning of all time. The safe harbor is not a physical place, but a state of mind where your trust in me is greater than any external threat. I guided you through every lightning bolt and every thunderclap so that you would arrive here with an authority you never had before. You are no longer that woman who trembled at the first sign of rain. You are now the woman who has learned to sleep in the midst of the hurricane because you know who is the captain of the ship. Look back now at the sea that is behind you and realize that the waters that tried to drown you were the same ones that brought you closer to my heart. The safe harbor that I designed for you with my own hands is a future of peace that is already decreed. I see your house illuminated, the laughter echoing again at your table, and the weight of that chronic anguish being replaced by a lightness that you didn't even know was possible to feel on this earth. Can you see the sparkle of the waters where I am taking you now? Can you feel the warmth of my embrace that now dries the last tears that still stubbornly lingered? Here, the wounds not only stop hurting, they are transformed into scars of honor, living proof that you survived because the Lord of the universe decided that you were too precious to be lost at sea. Before we seal this encounter, I want you to breathe in this peace. Have you ever felt the relief of finally arriving home after a long and dangerous journey? If this vision of your safe harbor has brought calm to your spirit now, leave your sign of deep gratitude. I invite you to leave your affection in this video and subscribe so that my voice continues to be your beacon in each new crossing. Share this hope with that person you know is still fighting against the waves in the darkness. Tell me deep in your heart, what is the feeling that defines this moment when you finally feel the firm sand beneath your feet? Write here in the comments our word of arrival and absolute peace. Real rest. Beloved daughter, we have reached the end of today's journey, but this is only the beginning of a new time in your story. Everything you heard in these minutes were not words thrown to the wind, but seeds of eternity planted in the fertile soil of your faith. I saw you arrive here with your soul in pieces, searching for an answer, a sign, a breath of fresh air that would make you believe it was worth continuing. And now, I give you the answer I promised to whisper to you at the beginning, when your heart was still heavy with doubt. Remember that I said there would be a key, a master phrase that would open the doors to your victory and shield your heart against any and all future storms. This phrase is not just a declaration, it is the seal of my presence within you. The answer to all your fears and the fuel for all your days is this eternal truth. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. I want you to write this phrase now in the comments with all the strength of your soul, declaring to heaven and earth that from today your strength does not come from you, but from me. Write, I can do all things through him who strengthens me. By typing these words, you are sealing a commitment to victory and accepting the inheritance of peace that I have released upon your life. My voice will continue to echo for you. If you feel you still need more of this balm, I invite you to browse through the list of messages I have prepared on this channel. There is much more there that I wish to reveal to your heart. Do not forget that there are still profound mysteries that heaven wants to show you in our next encounters. Remain connected to my light and do not allow the noise of the world to erase what I have just written in your innermost being. Receive now my final blessing. May my peace, which surpasses all human understanding, guard your thoughts. Go in peace, for I am with you every step of the way in your new song.